I'm talking briefly on the Dr. Patel's office, urology office, basically stating that they didn't have 3 records of me going to their office, taking a urine specimen at their office. But there has to be surveillance of me having the phone conversation, surveillance of my movements going from here to the urology office, walking into the hospital, walking in. I mean, there would have to be that documentation for them to make that statement. In order for them to make that statement, they would have to be rest assured that they got rid of that. How could you? Oh my gosh, I mean, it just makes me sick, man, because then you can easily, but I did, you know, and I did state that on here. You know, so. Because I also stated to Dr. Brandon Petit that after my last urine specimen at your office some time ago, and this letter is to the urology office. I put it to I just put it to Susan Sexton, PA/C, and Dr. Kalpesh R. Patel. And then I put here, I also stated to Dr. Brandon Petit at the urgent care that after my last urine specimen at your office, which is Dr. Patel's office, some time ago, I received a little brown envelope with antibiotic pills, and the little particles disappeared. And then I have another. I think it's on my other. I think it's on my first hard drive. I remember I did a whole chronology of and then talking to, because I remember I had a conversation with the clerk, and I'm like, what, dude, that's the craziest thing. I mean, that totally gave me anxiety, man. I'm like, wait a minute, I've never heard of that. How could somebody go for a doctor's visit? You're doing a medical procedure. Remember, I could go to that office, I could just call the office and they would cover it. Health Choice covered it. On this one issue with the Dr. Maxtaller situation, all of a sudden they wouldn't let me go there. I had to get a referral when I never had to do that before, and I was questioning it. And I had a whole long and I'm like, dude, that can't be legal. How could that be legal? You with common sense listening to this, would you want a doctor's office visit to not have a record of you being there? Well, then what's the cover-up? What's the purpose for that? I'm asking a question. They better come up with those, because I had 3 of them. But I remember, it has to be documented about me using the phone, having the conversation, and going there on 3 separate occasions for a urine specimen. You know what, man, I don't know what to make of that. Why cover that up? That's the big question that I'm having right now. But there's also a lengthy other 20 videos I can make just on that. There's so many incidents, guys. If anybody's getting from listening to my videos, there's tremendous amount of incidents, and each one constitutes malice, government intrusion. Because I don't believe that any doctor would do this on their own. They would have to be complying with someone saying that lawfully you have to do that. At some point it has to become illegal. I would think the doctor would say, wait a minute, you're telling me I have to do all this and I can't tell him what's wrong with this, and I'm evading, telling him what's wrong with his health, and then there's no record of having those urine specimens. But then now that's all illegal, but you're telling me to do that, then that also sets up a lawsuit from the doctor to the government intrusion as well, man, because if I was that, I'd be like, but you're using the doctors in a government intrusion that becomes socialism, not a social program, because you're taking ownership of it. And they are being very compliant. That's socialism. I'm sorry. I'm talking this out. This is not a social program. This falls under the definition of socialism. The government is taking ownership of the private company, of the person, to commit malice. And it releases the dog, but it's still, the government intrusion is the intent of malice. And becomes socialism.